Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the Avengers, Issue 8, 2023. Oh! So, I like this cover because it really showcases the Twilight Court and who they kind of are, and we kind of get that stuff going on in this issue, while also having the Avengers having to deal with Nightmare. So, we start off pretty much getting the lay of the land of who the Twilight Court are, how they kind of line up with the Avengers even as well, of the whole bit of like the icon, the star, all that kind of stuff. So we are shifted to then Glass House, the home of Myrddin and his Twilight Court, as we see Gale sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, and Lancelot sparring as we're like, ha, ho, well struck, Lance, you are strong, Gale, but you are too slow. She's not, of course, but she will never let Lancelot know that. Why? For the same reason Mary Galehoot has let Bright Lancelot win every time they have ever sparred, because Lancelot is the star. Ha! As we see that Lancelot has her down, and even the god cannot help but be drawn into her orbit. So, we have the god and the star, and then of course Galehoot's like, I've got a powerful thirst. I know where Bedivere hides his most potent, most experimental ales. Perfect. You sit on him, and I will loot a brace of... Oh, excuse me, Galehoot. Another time, another time then. As we see that Lance is going off. And we see that the other is pretty much talking. We have the one pretty much telling us what's going on, as the other one's asking questions. Aye, for even the star's heart bows to the king. Arthur, Arthur, my king. Lancelot, my keenest blade, my brightest knight. Ever so grim, my king. Come, walk with me in Myrddin's gardens. Perhaps that will raise your spirits. My thanks, Lancelot. Your offer is kind, but I find my mood too dark to risk dimming your own bright heart with it. But the king pines for another. And we see all the different kind of interplay. It's like, ooh, interesting. Yes, the icon, Parzival. So we have the star, the god, the king, the icon. So this is fitting up with, of course, King and King T'Challa. We've got the icon here for like Sam. Even our king has a hidden heart, Bersalak, and telling Parzival of his true feelings is the only thing he fears, because he is our king and we are his bondmen. It would not be done. And because Parzival is the perfect knight, Arthur's frail body is bound within the soul-cursed armor of Chthon. It's like, that links up chaos-wise with Wanda, so we'll have to see how that kind of works into effect. Arthur is the first of us all, born with the weakest body but the greatest heart. So we'll have to see how that kind of factors in, and how the armor helps him or hinders him. Are we also transparent to you, Bedivere? I am the engineer, of course linking up with Tony. It is my gift to see how things fit together, just as it is yours to see how they come apart, Mordred. See, it's like, ooh, even having kind of armor and stuff like that. And we see that this is kind of linking up with Wanda. How sinister you make me out to be, engineer. My apologies, Witch. As we see him take off his helmet, it's like, oh, okay. That is my designation, Bedivere, and I wear it as proudly as you do yours. I carry word from Myrddin. We ride to the hunt. We ride to war. As we see these kind of cards with the Conqueror for Kang, the Citadel of the Impossible City, and the rivals with the Avengers. It's like, interesting. It's not called the enemies. It's their rivals. So there could be a kind of point where they would actually potentially be able to work together. So we get now the Impossible City, as we see a really nice page there of the Twilight Court assembled against Vision and Wanda. Home of the Avengers. We need not fight any further, but it would be quite good if we did. Silence, Lancelot. Surrender Kang to us Avengers. I like that, where Lance is ready to fight, and the King's like, no, give us Kang. I don't know who you are, but you've made a mistake. What? How? By the one whose gift is to see how things come apart. Your power far outstrips my own, Scarlet Witch, but where you have raw power, Mordred has finesse. I can unravel your mighty magics as I can anything else. It is what I was engineered for. It's like, ooh, that's kind of crazy for her to be engineered like that. That's pretty much the best way to kind of go after Wanda, to unravel her magic instead of trying to brute force that kind of stuff. And you require removal, Mordred, as Vision goes after her. Oh, thank you, Bersalak. Your spatial warping has spared a novel hole in my head. It's like, oh shit, that's pretty big. Sweet Mordred, must you make everything a game? But I so enjoy them, my king. Then let this be a game you concede, Avengers. We are 7 where you are 2. There is no dishonor in surrender. Quite the opposite when you stand in defense of a villain. It's like, trust me, Artur. They don't really want to. We have need of Kang. We will not surrender him until that need has passed. Vision, our friends, they are at the mercy of Nightmare. I have a plan, but it requires time. Time that the two of us will spend battling the Twilight Court alone. Then tremble, Twilight Court, for 2 Avengers are worth any of your number. There you go, Vision. Fucking yeah. I like to see his determined face like that. So we shift over to what's going on with our Avengers as Nightmare is narrating. The god is filled with despair. As this cosmos dies, so too does Asgard, as does Manhattan, Wakanda, the Impossible City. That one's with Carol, The Dream, with Sam and Washington. Thor Odinson. Wait, what is she doing? And that's just nuts. I like that shot of Thor there as he's looking up. This is not real, Thor. You are dreaming, trapped by Nightmare. Awaken, we need you. Wanda, a dream. Nightmare, you have taken a terrible liberty. What? You are gaining control of the dream? Thunder God, how are you? My friends are some of the mightiest mortals ever assembled, but they are mortals. Like all mortals, they are at the mercy of their dreams. But I am a god, and what is a god if not a dream that mortals have ever been at the mercy of? Seeing his eyes as I'm like, that is definitely an interesting way of thinking of godhood like that. I kind of like that. It's interesting of him to be able to then kind of have that as a dream, a thing to kind of reach for, and then have him utilize his power to shout, Avengers Assemble. And I love this page here. Just seeing him crack and break all the kind of stuff for Tony, Carol, Sam, and T'Challa, and seeing Thor do it with his power like that is just fucking awesome, and having him shout the iconic line. It's just, I love that shit. The spell is cast, the sending sent. Now it is up to them. Now it is up to us, as we see Wanda and Vision fighting for their lives. I thought you could unravel her spells, Mordred. I am, but she's casting so many at such a rate, I cannot catch them all. So, essentially, Wanda then went for the machine gun approach, which makes sense. Bye, Bedivere. Mordred follows her destination, as do we all. Oh, so you do possess a blade, which, as we see Wanda utilizing a red blade like that, which is really kind of cool to go after Lancelot. You and your blades, Lance. The blades are for duels. And ever has Gale Hood preferred a brawl as she fucking punches Wanda. And that does not look like a punch you want to take, as Vision's like, Wanda! At one moment a ghost, and then the next hard as diamond. You are cunningly wrought, Vision. I will grant you that. Ever the engineer, Bedivere. It is a shame we are rivals and not enemies, for you are too noble to disassemble in order to discern your inner workings. You speak to me of nobility, you are invaders here, and I will fight you to my last. It's like, fuck yeah, Vision. I really am enjoying this issue for having so much time spent on Vision and giving him really good shit to do. Of course, Mordred's like, Percival, you waiting permission to join? No. Then why do you stay your hand? My blessing is victory, Mordred, as yours is sorcery, but only if it be just, and with 7 on our side and 2 on theirs, I'm at the mercy of the scales, dear witch, as that is his kind of honor. Interestingly, for him to be like, if I did, this would just be over, and it's not a fair fight, so he has rules for how he conducts his duty. And they are currently out of balance, bringing us back to the Avengers, now assembled in their array against Nightmare. We're trapped in a dream? I have broken apart the artifice and brought us together, but that is the extent of my power here. The storm is my domain, not dreams. I'm like, that's a good one there. I like that they were able to keep that paired enough so that Thor isn't completely overpowered. They are mine, however. I underestimated you, Thunder God, but no one escapes my realm unless I allow them to. Seeing Nightmare's giant head. What do you want, Nightmare? What is this about? Respect. Respect. I've been wronged by the mutant Jean Grey, by the warhound General Strange. It's like, shit. And granted, I don't know that much about what Jean did to him, but I've been reading Doctor Strange and know what General Strange did to him, and it's like, he's just doing this to get respect. What a fucking little asshole. I am Nightmare. I am the Midnight Leviathan, the Lord, the Fear Lord, and I will be respected. And then I love how, like, Thor's like, alright, what do you require of us? Oh, very little. I want your surrender. I want you to say that I have won, that I have beaten the Avengers. T'Challa's like, not a chance in hell. Carol's like, we don't surrender. And Tony's like, we never will, as Thor starts laughing. And it's like, this is the perfect Thor response and what the Avengers would do. That is all, truly? Then take it with my compliments, Nightmare. You win. I do not understand. I humble you, all of you, and you laugh. I have greater obligations than to my pride, Nightmare. Wanda and Vision are in peril of some sort, and they need us. So I speak for the Avengers. You have won. And I love that. I don't care. Like, I need to help my friends. If you will let us out, and by saying that you have won, that's all we need. Return us to the waking world, fear Lord, as per your requirement. When victory is ours, you and I will have words about your true interest. And it's like, yeah, there we go, Thor. I'm like, yep. You fight valiantly, but you are simply outnumbered. Surrender Kang, your honor remains intact. He is a monster who must be brought to justice. And what of your monster, Artor, your master? Merlin created us to be heroes. Ha! Spoken like the puppet I was created to be. Good hit there, Vision. Viz, Wanda, sorry we slept in. Hi, we didn't get introduced properly earlier. We're the Avengers, and this is our house. Ah, now the scales are balanced. How interesting. As we see pretty much everyone except Sam for some reason, as Parzival's like, now the scales are balanced, so now he can go into the fray. So we get our letter page and a preview. The Avengers battle the Twilight Court. For the sake of Kang the Conqueror, the Twilight Court wishes to bring Kang to justice, but the Avengers will have need of the comatose Conqueror. Which side can claim to be truly just? That is the end. I really enjoyed this issue because I liked getting the understanding of the Twilight Court, and they are a nice kind of mix of similar archetypes that we've gotten before, and we know their objective is to get Kang because of all the shit that he's done. Specifically, we don't know what he's done to them, but I liked learning about them, the interplay, their group dynamics. That is hard to do without executing it to a point of like exposition vomiting, and I did not get that feeling from this at all. I think it was well done, showing them in action, showing them being the characters and understanding the interplays. Lancelot being the object of affection for Gil Hut, Lancelot having her affections on the king, and the king having his affections for Parzival. We have the engineer figuring stuff out. We've got Mordred the Witch and what kind of goes on there, and how tactically they battled Wanda and Vision. Pretty much understanding Vision's different kind of capabilities and trying to take him on but not successfully. Mordred being able to unravel Wanda's magic, so then her going into pretty much rapid fire mode to try and overwhelm her. And then the Avengers having that situation with Nightmare where Thor was the pivotal one, being able to break that the artifice of the dream and bring them together in Nightmare's realm, and then Nightmare being like, I want to be respected, so surrender. And Thor's like, sure, you win. I just want to go out and help and save my friends. And Thor would do that. I love that he's like, I don't care about my pride. You won. Let me out, and then we will talk to you about what your interests are and what's actually going on here and why you were here. And then we got the Avengers ready to go. Carol leading the charge. I just can't wait to see how this is going to go and how the battle between the Avengers and the Twilight Court is going to go. This isn't going to be the same kind of like thing. We'll have to see how this kind of works out if they're able to keep Kang for his knowledge of the tribulation events. What's going to go on with there? Will these rivals team up? There's a lot of different kind of stuff. I like the new kind of things that are coming up here, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.